All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is DJ Catsanova doing another overseas interview. This time I have the pleasure of speaking with Babeheaven. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, darling. Thanks for asking.
Good.
I felt like I had to say that in a British accent. I mimic the British accent a lot because I love it.
It's good, isn't
Yeah, very much. So,
it?
is Babeheaven a solo act or is it a band?
Babeheaven is a band, and it's comprised of me and Jamie, who write all the songs. And then when we play live, there's five of us. There's Luca, who plays guitar, Ned on drums, and Hugo on bass, Jamie on keys, and me singing. And normally, if we're doing UK shows, we sometimes have two backing vocalists as well, but, you don't want to get
Too crazy.
there's a lot of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how did you come up with the name Babeheaven?
We actually came up with it as a joke. It was like we'd written a song called Friday Sky a couple of years ago, quite a while ago, and we wanted to put it online for Valentine's Day because it was a love song. And we were like trying to upload it on SoundCloud, and obviously you have to have a name. And we've been kind of like putting lots of words together, and Babeheaven just seemed like the right thing for that song and for like who we were at that moment. So it stuck.
Oh, and I actually really like it. And Friday Sky, by the way, great freaking song. I love that song.
Thank you.
I checked on
Thank you.
Spotify. You have over 3 million listens on that song.
Yeah, it's quite crazy. We honestly, me and Jamie wrote that song at I don't even know, it was like the day before Valentine's Day, and we were just trying to think of, we should release a song, and that song just kind of happened, and it did very well. We're very lucky.
Yeah, it's a really good one. So, when you were growing up, who was your biggest influences when you first started doing music? Like, were your parents musicians or singers, or was it straight from you listening to music?
Well, my dad actually is a musician. He was in a couple of bands. So I was brought up in a household full of never-ending music knowledge tests and playing 1,000 records and kind of listening to music all the time. And he writes jingles and stuff. And Jamie comes from a musical background too. So we both had quite heavy influences growing up. Jamie listened to a lot of hip hop and stuff like that. And my dad listened to a lot of soul. So we kind of merged our influences, but had both huge kind of catalogues of stuff that we listened to already.
Nice. How do you and Jamie know one another?
We've known each other since we were 12, 13. Well, he played football. Jamie played football in the park with my dad. And then when I was 14, 15, we kind of became really good friends and were hanging out. And then he was working on the same road as I worked, and we kind of started doing music through just spending loads of time together. We live really close to each other, so we've kind of always just been friends since we were really young.
Oh, nice. What part of England are you from?
Ladbroke Grove, Notting Hill kind of area.
Oh, okay, nice. How far? I'm not really familiar with it, but how far is that from London?
It's in London. It's central London.
Oh, okay, central London. All right. So it's just like a neighborhood within London.
Yeah. London is very sprawling. It's huge. But the bit we're from is kind of like a little village, and everyone knows each other, which is quite nice.
Nice. London is definitely my top 3 favorite places of all time. I'm trying to figure out a way for me to move there. I don't know how, though.
It's so difficult. I wish that, it'd be so much, and now Brexit and everything, it's making everything even harder. But
I know.
you should definitely try. It's a nice place to be.
I want to come and say that I'm seeking political asylum from America.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll work, but I think I might give it a try.
Yeah, you might as well.
But 7 months ago, Babeheaven released Suspended Animation. What's the meaning behind the title?
Well, suspended animation is actually something that happens when you're halfway between life and death, when you're having a kind of procedure, if you're in hospital.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it kind of just meant stuck whilst moving, and that's why I chose it. And then when we took the pictures for the cover, it's me jumping, and it looks like I'm flying, so
Mm-hmm.
it kind of felt really right with the artwork and the title, and it's I don't know, it's two words I thought went really well together.
And then I also noticed that you have a track on there titled Cat Dance, and I don't know, but my DJ name is DJ Catsanova, so I had to ask you about that.
Cat Dance, I don't know why it's called that. It was just I think it's so difficult giving things titles, and when you write a song, you actually have to give it a name before you've even written it most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was classic. Me and Jamie just sitting there and we're what should we call it? And he was cat, and I was dance, and that happened.
Okay, so it has nothing to actually do with cats.
No, nothing to do with cats. It's actually a song about being at a party and staying up too late, basically.
But that's pretty much how cats are all the time, just staying up late
Exactly.
and partying by themselves. So
Yeah,
that could be the meaning behind it.
yeah.
So you said you sing and you write all the lyrics, but do you play any instruments?
I used to play bass, and now I don't play any instruments. I wish I did because it's just a good thing to be able to do.
Oh,
But
you forgot how to play it?
I can kind of play, but I also like when I stopped playing bass, I got acrylic nails. So I always had really long nails, and now
Mm.
5 years on, I'm not very good anymore. I wish I should have kept on doing it.
For someone that's not familiar with Babeheaven, who would you say your sound has a similar vibe with?
Probably like Massive Attack and Portishead, like 90s trip hop kind of UK music. It's quite beat heavy, but with like quite beautiful kind of top lines.
There's a subtlety in the way you touch. There's a hunger beyond your eyes. And although you're
What's
Okay,
an artist that you remember your dad playing all the time that you absolutely loved?
probably Stevie Wonder, like songs in the key of life and like all his albums just like really were played a lot in my life. And like when I listen to them, it just makes me feel very nostalgic. I love Stevie Wonder so much.
Did he play them on vinyl?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, nice.
he has so much vinyl, it's crazy.
Did he give you any, or was he like, no,
No,
this
he's
is
still got
mine?
it all, but he's spent the whole of lockdown being like, I need to go through my vinyl. So I think when this finishes, we'll go through it. And he has like doubles of so many records.
Oh, so you're
So
like, yeah, let
hopefully
me
I'll
get some
get.
of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's time for you to pass this on to me.
So in LA is a place that bands usually go to kind of like jumpstart their career. Do you foresee that in the future of Babe Heaven, or you think you guys are gonna stay on the England side?
I don't know. I feel like we've got a lot of fans in America, so I'd really like to go. We were meant to be on tour before coronavirus, and we were going to be in LA, starting in like going to South by Southwest LA, and then up the coast to New York, and just like on a long month and a half tour. So we're really excited to kind of get playing out there because I know that we have got people listening and who want to see us. But I like London a lot, and it's kind of like not indicative of our sound at all. Like it definitely doesn't like matter where we are. We could still write what we write, but it's home and it always will be. I'm down to go to LA, but I'm not like desperate.
Have you been to the States before?
Not properly. I've been to like New York on holiday, but never anywhere else. I was so excited to kind of see everything else.
Coronavirus did a number on people, especially a lot of
Exactly.
bands.
It ruined a couple of people's
Oh,
plans, everyone's 2020 plans.
oh my God, that shit. Well, hopefully in the soon future, you will
Yeah.
come to the States and make sure. I know you said you would come to LA, but I live in the Bay Area, so I
Uh-huh.
would love to see you in the Bay Area. If not, I would drive down to LA. It's nothing. I mean,
Definitely.
so what is something you foresee for Babe Heaven in the future? Like, is this your full-time job? Like, you're like, I'm all in. I don't want to do anything else.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We've been doing it for a while, so I'm definitely all in. I think we want to write an album and release it, and then kind of see where it goes from there. Because we've been putting out EPs and singles for a while. It'd be nice to put out a really cohesive like body of work that reflects where we're at now, so that we can keep on moving forward and like develop our sound. And I know that for me and Jamie, we're definitely all in, and it's everything that we do really. So
When did
hopefully,
when did Babe Heaven start?
about 5 years ago now, I'd say.
Oh, 2015. All right. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that I heard you guys' music before playing, like, because I used to work at Levi's. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure I
really?
heard them play your music in there before. I think that's how I got familiar with you.
Yeah.
If you had the option to collab with any one of your choice, who would you pick?
I think right now I'd love to work with Air, who are a French band who kind of make like chilled music, really good. And I love like the French sound that like those synths they use and stuff like that. So I think that would be kind of I'd love to do that, work with them.
Do they sing in English or they sing in French?
They sing in French, but I actually speak French, so it's kind of fine.
Oh, nice. How'd you learn
So
French?
yeah,
Or would you learn, or are you
I
part
went,
French?
I went, and I'm not part French. I went to a French school when I was young for like 10 years, so I speak French.
Nice. Do you speak any other languages besides that? Besides English, of course.
No, I wish I could speak Spanish, but I can't. One day I'll learn.
And did you grow up in England your whole life?
Yeah, I've grown up in London the whole of my life.
I have to come over there and check you guys out. And hopefully,
Yeah,
again, once COVID is over, if I don't see you guys in the States,
exactly.
I could see you over there because I would prefer to go over there anyways.
Yeah.
do you have any future projects coming out with Babeheaven, like sooner than later? Especially with COVID going
Yeah.
on, are you guys like working
Well,
on new material?
we had like a whole plan in place that we were going to be kind of touring and releasing singles this year, but instead we'll still keep on releasing music. We're releasing like we put out Human Nature a couple of weeks ago, and it was really nice. We made a video for it in lockdown, which was so fun and like hilarious to do. So I think we're just going to keep on going as planned because you can't really stop. There's no point. Nothing. Even the world isn't really moving that much, and like there's not as much freedom to do all the things we want to do. There's no like people still listen to music, and it makes people really happy listening to good music. So
And I mean, this is the best time to get your creative juices flowing, just because you have all of this
exactly,
time to just be sitting around, which is how I decided
yeah,
to start doing interviews. Because I was like, you know what? If I have a lot of free time, all of these artists is probably going to have a lot of free time. So I'm just going to reach
exactly.
out to people and see what they say.
Yeah, the time to do stuff. Actually, I feel like it's a very exciting time for everyone because you can kind of be innovative with whatever you're doing.
You and Jamie don't live together, do you?
No,
Oh, okay. So you guys have to like come visit each other sneakily.
he lives about 5 minutes away from me, so it's kind of
Oh, okay. It's
and
not that bad then.
he all of the people he lives with are my friends, and we kind of so long as they know that we're keeping for lockdown, they're kind of happy for me to go over and do stuff, which is good.
Nice. So do you think British artists or American art, like between British and American artists, who do you think has a bigger influence on your sound?
I think I don't know. I'm pretty open to both. I don't wanna say one or the other because they're both influential in different ways. Like I feel like American music, especially the stuff I listen to now, is like so like bass heavy, and you can't like in England. It's like it's hard to find that sound here.
Hmm.
So in that way, American artists. Then in the more like kind of electronic and like weird sounds, I think British. So I think both, a mix of both.
Speaking of, who are your top three artists that you're listening to right now?
Oh gosh, James Blake always. Who else? Oh my god, this girl called Lola, who's a new British singer who I think is really really good and interesting. She makes really interesting music, and
Babeheaven.
I'll say, yeah, Babeheaven, of course. Sorry, how could I even be questioning that?
I was
Yeah,
waiting for that. I
Babeheaven.
was like, oh yeah, Babeheaven.
Obviously.
All right. Now, before we get into this game, I have a very important question for you. And I usually ask every artist this question, but then sometimes try to gauge their personality and their sound, and I'll switch it up. But with you, this
Yeah.
was a very specific question. So, Kate Bush or Sade?
Oh my god, that's an impossible question. I can't answer that. I want to, but that is like really impossible.
All right.
I
So,
love them both.
how about this? Give me your favorite Sade song and then your favorite Kate Bush song.
My favorite Sade song is probably "Love Is Stronger Than Pride," and my favorite Kate Bush song is called "Suspended in Gaffer."
Which album is that on?
Sorry, I cannot remember. I wish I could remember, but I can't remember.
I have to look it up. I'm very disappointed in myself because I'm a huge fan of both of them. And
Yeah,
I should, when you said that, I should know what album that's from. But now I have to like go
I'm
do a
so
deep
bad at
dive.
knowing albums.
Like when I was where did I get that album from? I was in Netherlands and I found Kate Bush's Hounds of Love on vinyl, and I cherished
Yeah,
that album like no tomorrow.
yeah, it's so good. I mean, she's amazing.
What part of England is Kate from? You know?
I think she's from like I feel like she's from the countryside, but I'm not sure where. Maybe like Midlands.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
completely wild guess there.
All right. So you ready to play?
Yeah.
All right. So the game is called What the Heck. In front of me, I have 10 cards laid out, and you just give me a number. I'll flip it, and then I'll read it to you.
Okay.
All right. Give me a number.
Number 4.
Number 4. If you could marry a fictional character, who would it be?
Lord Voldemort.
What is that from Harry Potter?
Yeah. Might
not-
as well.
I'm not too familiar with Harry Potter, so now I'm gonna have to Google it to see how he looks.
He's like the worst person in Harry Potter. He's the evil person in Harry Potter.
Oh, it's not the guy that just passed away recently, is it?
No. It's in the posters. He like has a snake nose and he's terrifying.
Oh, okay. All right. Another number.
7.
7. What would be the absolute worst name you could give your child? Oh, did your parents tell you that they had a different name for you besides Nancy?
If I was a girl, I was always going to be Nancy, but if I was a boy, I'd be Sunny. And I actually really love the name Sunny.
Oh, Sunny. I actually know somebody
Yeah.
named Sunny. Sunny and the Sunsets.
It's such a nice name.
Yeah, no, it's cute. But Nancy is cute too.
Yeah, it's a good name.
All right, now give me one more.
10.
10. Oh, I feel like this one comes up a lot. If you could bring one famous person back from the dead, who would you pick?
Someone really cool, like... Oh, maybe Bill Withers. He died recently, but he's such a good songwriter. I'd like to meet him.
See, and I'm bad with names. That name also sounds very familiar.
He
Oh, it's
did
the older guy.
Lovely Day. So he's the singer who does Lovely Day.
Oh, but okay, I do know who that is.
Yeah.
Lovely Day.
He's-
Lovely Day.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's the best. But I'd just like to meet him. He seems like such a nice person.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I was talking about him because I looked him up because he's from West Virginia, which was
Oh, really?
yeah, very random. I was like, oh, because not too many black people come from West Virginia, so I found that very
Yeah.
intriguing. I was like, oh, okay. Well, Nancy, thank you so much for doing this interview. That was very quick. It was 20 minutes that went by. It didn't feel like 20 minutes, so.
It was good. It was good. It was nice.
Mhm. I appreciate you speaking to me all the way from England. I'm in Cuba right now, by the way.
Oh my God, that's so nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty nice. How's the weather out there?
It's actually really hot for London. It's like 26 degrees and the sun's shining, and everyone's kind of in their gardens right now, which is really nice.
And are you guys on complete lockdown still right now?
It's like complete lockdown. You can go to the park and like have a picnic, which I think is pretty random, but otherwise, pretty much complete lockdown.
Like, did Boris like actually put that out? Like, hey, you guys can't
Yeah.
go anywhere, but
He
you
was
can
like,
go to
you
the
can
park.
you can go to the park, you can leave the house as many times as you want, and you can do exercise, and you can have a picnic. You can meet up with one person who's not from your household, but you have to stay 2 meters apart. So it's quite like still strict, but not as strict as it was.
I guess it's not too bad. Going to
Yeah.
the park having a picnic doesn't sound like the worst.
It's pretty nice. Yeah, but the parks are so full that you don't really want to go.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, I think I'd rather not.
Yeah.
All right, Nancy. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. It was lovely speaking to you.
You as well.
Falling for you now, you left me thinking. Now my heart's straight ringing.
This podcast is a proud member of the BFF.FM podcast network. Learn more at podcast.bff.fm.
BFF.FM, best frequencies forever.